Welcome back. Now, social workers play a vital role in supporting vulnerable individuals, strengthening families, and promoting social well-being in communities across Namibia. As the country prepares to observe National Social Workers Day on 17 March 2026, the occasion provides an opportunity to highlight the invaluable work these professionals do every day. Joining us this morning to shed more light on the role of social workers and the significance of the day is Zelnadia de Waal, PRO for the Namibian Social Workers Association, as well as wellness practitioners. Good morning, ma'am, and thank you so much for making time to speak to us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Now, Mr. Waal, this National Social Workers Day will be commemorated on the 17th of March 2026. Maybe perhaps for the interest of our viewers, explain to us the significance of this day and why is it important on Namibia to recognize and celebrate social workers as well as wellness practitioners.
Well, it's actually not just a National Social Workers Day, it's an International Social Workers Day. So social workers is a very vital and important profession in our community, especially the Namibian community. So it has been a community that has been there forever, for a very long time. And this is an opportunity and a platform to recognize social workers, to applaud social workers, and also to raise awareness about the work that social workers are doing in Namibia, in society, to really share to our communities out there to celebrate social workers. So yeah, the theme for this year, the International Social Workers Day, is co-building harmony, hope and harmony, and it's a call to it's a Harambee call to unite a divided society. So it actually says a lot because social workers ultimately brings hope and also strengthens families or strengthens a lot of structures within our communities. So yes, we just feel like Namibia should also take part in celebrating our social workers.
Now, we know that for many viewers possibly might not understand, what, the role of these professionals. I mean, obviously, what exactly they do, and perhaps maybe looking at this day. What do social workers really do, and as well as wellness practitioners when it comes to Namibia, and what are some of the key areas where they make a difference in Namibian communities?
Yes. So a social worker is ultimately a trained professional. Social work is a profound profession. It's a helping profession. There's so much that social workers does within community in terms of not just contributing to social development, contributing to legal frameworks within the country, but also ultimately protecting our children. So this is where social workers plays a very important role. Strengthening families. So we work with the individual, we work with the community, but we also work with organizations in terms of child protection, in terms of domestic, protecting communities and societies against gender-based violence, raising awareness and also educating society. So it's quite broad. And in terms of employee wellness, social workers plays a very vital role in ensuring that employees in any organization, that their well-being is really taken care of, that there is ultimately that they do have a work-life balance. I don't like to use the word work-life balance because you will never strike a balance when it comes to your work and your personal and your family life. Ultimately, the two should coexist with each other. So yes, social workers plays a very, very important and critical role in terms of supporting, in terms of protecting not just children, but also men and women within Namibia. So yeah, that is the role of social workers. But most importantly, social workers plays a very important role in terms of national development. Yes.
Indeed. You're part of the association which represents the social workers as well as wellness practitioners. Let's talk about the role of this association and how it supports workers while also at the same time advocating for social development within the country.
Yes. So the Namibian Social Workers Association is ultimately an association to really strengthen the work and to really be the voice of social workers out there. So the role of the association is to strengthen, to engage the gap between social workers and the community. So many a time social workers do not work in very conducive environments. So the role of the association is to really engage stakeholders, the government, officers, to ensure that social workers are better protected, that social workers have a good working environment, but also that social workers' voices are heard out there. So the role is also really to strengthen the work that social workers does. The role is also then to build capacity. So we are there for the professional development of social workers to ensure that our social workers are ethical and also that they are that they conduct their work in a professional manner. So that is the role of the association, really to strengthen the services, to collaborate the work that social workers do out there in the community.
Now, in addition to obviously the association, we know that you are a wellness practitioner at Nampower. Some people might be thinking, you know, how important is workplace wellness and mental support, especially perhaps in the context of the organization that you work in, and what role do social workers play in improving well-being within an organization of the nature in which that you work?
Yes, as a wellness practitioner, I have probably first-hand experience in workplace well-being. And workplace well-being is very important because your human resource, is probably the most important aspect in any organization. Because if they are not well taken care of, if their mental health is not in a good space, a lot of employees in any workspace, in any sphere, in any industry do experience mental health challenges, they do experience financial problems, they do experience burnout. So it's very important to ensure that their well-being is taken care of. And well-being is not just a tick box exercise, taking care of your employees' well-being. It's not just a tick box exercise. It's not just a once-off team building exercise, but it's a wholesome, structured program where you really ensure that your employees are well taken care of, that they are there physically and also mentally. So, yeah, like I said, your human resource is the most important aspect. It's not just the production. So I would like to encourage all people in management positions, all organizations to really step up in taking care of their employees, not just their physical health, but also their mental health.
Mental health. Now, you did touch on it, that obviously that possibly social work is also, you know, quite emotionally demanding, you know, yet it can also be highly rewarding when you're seeing people recover from the challenges that they are facing. You know, what motivates individuals, especially in the context of today's world where issues of mental health, you know, are becoming prominent within our society, you know, to pursue this profession, and what are some of the qualities that are needed for someone who wants to become a social worker?
Yes. So I would just first like to say in a lighter note that if you would like to become a social worker because of the money, you would definitely be in the wrong profession. There's so much, like you indicated, it's a rewarding experience because social work is deeply rooted into compassion. Compassion for the human being, compassion for the vulnerable communities out there. So one of the qualities that you should have as a social worker or as a human being is that you need to have the love and the compassion for seeing change in another human being. You need to have good listening skills. You need to have patience, because change does not take place very quickly. So you need to have patience. You need to have the understanding of how humans operate, of the human behavior, of the cognizance of the human mind. So that is very important in social work. You need to be an advocate for the voiceless out there. But ultimately, I would say is that you need to have compassion. There's a lot of skills that go along with becoming a social worker. You need to have the understanding. And you also need to be passionate about what you are doing.
You're passionate about what you're doing.
Yes.
Well, before we let you go, a message for those that might be watching as we get ready for the commemoration, observing of the International Social Workers Day on the 17th of March. Are there any activities lined up in Namibia?
Yes, we would just like to take the day and celebrate social workers that are going out and beyond what is expected from them. So we will have a celebratory day here in Windhoek, but also online, because social workers are represented in all 14 regions within Namibia. So we would just like to celebrate social workers, applaud social workers, because social workers are the quiet or the silent pillars within our communities, and many a times they are not recognized. So it's an opportunity to recognize social workers, to applaud social workers for the courageous work that they are doing. So yeah, that is what the day will be all about. But also I would like the opportunity to also just wish all social workers a very, very happy Social Workers Day on that day. And we would also then like to, social workers are first and foremost human beings. They are parents, they are partners. And it's also important that they do take care of their self-care, of their own well-being.
Well, Zelnadia de Waal, thank you so much for making time to speak to us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.